and welcome to It's a Super Scary Saturday Sleepover. Scott, could you hit that light?
Yes, I
Forgot to do
can.
that. Oreo Jr. was out late last night, so we're going to put him, he been a bad pet. We're going to put him over there in prison. And we're going to get started with our story. For tonight's story, sleepover tale, is about what happens when a spoiled rich girl meets her match.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Y'all ready to hear this story? It's spooky, scary.
what was the name of the story again?
The Snake Charmer. Oh, sorry. But by the in the book Still More Tales for the Midnight Hour by J.B Stamper. I'm such a good YouTuber. Okay, well, let's get going. Lucy Morris sat on the veranda of her parents' house outside the village of Camport. Servants came and went, adding ice to her lemonade or fetching her a book or a treat. Still, Lucy's mouth was set in a pout. She didn't like this foreign place. Her father had come here to do research for 3 years, but only 1 month had passed, and to Lucy, it seemed like an eternity. The heavy, humid heat made Lucy feel faint. Ugh.
You know that feeling.
Mm-hmm. The strong, spicy smells of the food made her lose her appetite. Ugh, curry. Ugh, uh, you know, turmeric. Ugh. And the insects that scurried about the house made her scream in terror. Now that I agree with Lucy, girl, I'm with you on that. Lucy sat on the veranda, pouring out all her anger into a letter she was writing to her friend back home. Slowly, as she wrote, she became more aware of a sound that she hadn't heard before. It was a tune, a low whining tune being played on a flute of some kind. Lucy didn't know how long the music had been playing, but once she was aware of it, she could hear nothing else. She threw down her pen. Let me get a pen.
Oh,
And paper and got up from the big wicker chair where she had been sitting. Then she walked to the end of the veranda that was near the road. The house sat on a dusty, seldom traveled road that led to the nearby village. Lucy peered over the veranda railing and caught her breath at what she saw.
what did she see?
Y'all check this out. On the ground was an old man, dressed in rags, moving back and forth as he played the flute that was making the hypnotic music she heard. The song repeated itself over and over again in high whining notes. Lucy was about to call to the man to go away when she noticed the basket sitting in front of him. For from a hole in its top, a sinister, flat-headed snake, like this. Let's just get them going. Was swaying back and forth to the music. Lucy screamed when she saw the snake. She had a unaliving fear of snakes. The man glanced up at her with his dark eyes and then went on playing the songs for his cobra. Lucy ran back into the house and demanded that the servants tell the man to leave at once. But the servants shook their head and murmured that it would bring bad luck to them. See, this is red flag number one. Sorry to interrupt, but this is red flag number one. So all the locals is saying, girl, just let him play them tunes and let that snake sway back and forth. Okay, y'all keep up with this. Now, who think of something? Put it in the comment section. What y'all think? Why you think they scared of this man? Lucy wished her mother and father were at home, but they had abandoned her. You don't say that. But they had gone for 3 days on a research trip. So Lucy ran back on the end of the veranda and shouted to the old man to go away. Go away. For a moment, he seemed not to hear her, but Lucy kept shouting and motioning to him. Then suddenly he stopped moving and playing the flute and stared at her with his bottomless black eyes. The cobra suddenly stopped swinging and turned to look at Lucy too. Okay, girl, you in trouble. The snake's evil-looking eyes seemed to be mesmerizing her, or memorizing her face. Lucy shrank back in fear and ran to the house. Once again, the insidious music began. The music kept up through dinner and into the evening. See, that's why you shouldn't have messed with that man. When Lucy went to bed, she could still hear the song of the snake charmer's flute. That snake was like, yes, keep going. This my jam, girl. This my jam. In her mind, she could see the cobra swaying back and forth to the music. Yes. Okay. After hours of tossing and turning in the hot air, she finally fell asleep. Maybe you should have listened to the music and swayed yourself on to sleep, girl. When Lucy woke up, she noticed a change in the air. It was silent. The music had stopped. Lucy ran to the window that looked out into the road. Looking back at her from the ground was the snake charmer. He said, "Oh, hey, good morning, girl." When he saw her face, he took up his flute and began to play, period. Gang, gang. The music wound its way through the window into Lucy's brain. At breakfast, she threw a temper tantrum, and demanded that the servants get rid of the snake charmer. But once again, they refused because they ain't stupid. They tried to tell her that such a man had strange powers, but she wouldn't listen. She went to the back of the house as far away from the music as she could get. Lucy stayed inside the house all morning and all afternoon, but still she couldn't escape the snake charmer song. Before dinner, she walked out into the veranda and called to the man. "I will give you money," she said, "if you will go away. Is that what you want?" The man played his song for several more minutes. Then he stopped and looked up at her. "Something that belongs to you," he said, showing chipped yellow teeth. "A lock of your golden hair." Just then, the cobra reared its ugly head towards Lucy, like, get out of here. Give me your hair. I need a wig. She shrank back and ran into the house, shutting the door tightly behind her. But the music started up again, like a mad tune in her brain. Lucy spent another restless night, tossing and turning and covering her head with the pillow to keep out the sound of the music. She woke so late the next morning that the snake charmer had already started playing by the time she got up. You want a wig, girl. Lucy wasn't sure she could stand it any longer. She sat down in the front of her mirror and started to brush her long blonde hair. But then she remembered the snake charmer wish. She picked up a lock of her hair and thought how she would hate to cut it. But if that would get rid of the man and his horrible music, perhaps it would be worth losing. Lucy searched her drawer for a pair of scissors. She couldn't find one anywhere. She opened the closet doors to see if any were among her childhood toys stored there. At last, she found a pair in a box with colored paper and crayons. Then something else caught her eye in the stack of toys in the closet. What do y'all think it was, Scott? What do you think it is? It caught her eye.
A snake.
Okay, that's close. It was a doll she had been given when she was 6.
Oh. Oh.
I mean, this snake is a doll or whatever, close. A doll with long blonde hair. Her mother told her the hair was real. Lucy pulled the doll from her closet and held up its head to hers in front of the mirror. Their hair color matched perfectly. Lucy laid the doll on her bed and snipped off a lock of his hair and rushed from the room. Lucy ran out to the end of the veranda and called to the snake charmer, "Get over here, stop that racket, get over here." He kept playing his song until she held up the golden lock of hair for him to see. Then he put down his flute and reached up to take the hair. Lucy saw a strange look on his face as he took the hair from her hands. She saw the cobra's evil eyes staring at her again. Then the snake showed its short fangs at her. Okay, girl. Your snake got an attitude problem. Look at mine, just nice. "Now go away," she screamed and ran back into the house. All that morning and afternoon, the house was perfectly still. Just before dinner, a friend of her mother's came to visit Lucy. She said that Lucy's parents would be returning from the trip that night. Lucy felt the happiest she had been since coming to Camper. She was rid of the snake charmer and his music, and soon her parents would be home with their money. They came later than she expected, long after dinner was over, and when it was almost time for Lucy to go to bed. Lucy hugged her mother and father and then waited for the presents she knew they'd bring. Told you. Right after she opened the presents, she began to tell the story of the snake charmer and his endless music. "Oh, mommy, daddy, guess what happened? There was this man playing a bunch of music with his snake." "But how did you get him to leave?" her mother asked. "He wanted a lock of my hair," Lucy said, "so I gave him a lock of hair." "No, Lucy," her father gasped. "You didn't do that. Not to a man like that." Y'all weren't ready for that. That's a twist, huh? Y'all weren't ready for that? "Yes, I did," Lucy said. "I gave him a lock of hair." She didn't have a chance to finish. Her father jumped to his feet and ran towards her bedroom. Lucy ran after him, trying to tell him the rest of her story. But Mr. Morris didn't stop until he reached her bedroom door and threw it open. Lucy ran up beside him as he turned on the lights. Together, they stared in horror at the thing on the bed. What is it? What is it?
A snake.
Close. Lucy's blonde-haired doll was laying there, and wrapped around it in an evil death grip was the evil eye cobra of the snake charmer.
Oh.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they all live happily ever after.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's the end, y'all. Hopefully, y'all kept y'all in suspense. Scott, you guys, what stood out to you in this story? You guys put it in the comment section. I want to know. Scott, what stood out to you? Go on, tell the people.
Let's say don't mess with a dude who has a cobra around his neck.
Or a flute. Don't mess with a dude with a flute or a cobra, period. Period. You want to know what stood out to me in this story?
Yes.
If the locals tell you, if you in a place that is not your, is not your hood, it's not your territory, it's not where you usually stay. If you visiting somewhere, and the people who are usually from there tell you, "Hey, stay away from this, don't do that," you probably want to follow suit. You probably do. They probably know better than you. If they say don't drink the water, it's poison to people, don't go to that house over there, don't do it. Don't do it. Every scary movie I've seen, when people do it, it don't end well.
This is true.
That's what stood out to me. Not just in this story, but every other horror movie. And when people be going on vacation and coming up missing, that's what stand out to me. Okay, well, with that, we're gonna, wrap this up. Y'all know we got, we got to keep on going with the interesting thing that happened at Acres Inc. So give me about 30 minutes. We're gonna end this live though. So as always, it is our great pleasure to have you guys here. We have a lot of fun having you here, and we hope that you guys have just as much fun, hanging out with us. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, check out some other videos, shorts, lives, all that fun stuff. Make yourself at home, and all that. So from wherever we are, even if we listening to a snake charmer, play music day and night to irritate us so we can give them a piece of our hair so they can make a wig, to wherever you guys are, peace, love, happiness, skinnamarink dinky dink. We'll see you guys in about 30 or so minutes so we can get our next story. But until then, bye y'all.